literally transformed into next year's blankets when they grow out of them.
Cut them into pieces and sew them together, and old uniforms become their bedding quilts.
Every piece of paper is used 100 times. The one school stapler is well loved and well treated. And in fact, when we were leaving, a young boy was yelling out the bus, waving, "Ma'am, ma'am." And I said, "Yes, Amit, what is it?" He goes, "Bring me back a stapler." I mean, it was the only material thing that was asked for the entire month we were there. We were amazed. Bring me back a stapler. And we're bringing staplers, believe me.
The teachers sit, for the most part, in lawn furniture, plastic lawn furniture chairs in the classroom. The students may have desks now recently, but the teachers are still sitting in $5, $6 here in the United States, plastic lawn chairs. So when we were doing our work there with the scripts for the play, we had to get our own highlighters, our own pens, and we parked on grass mats on the floor to do our teaching work. So this is something that it would make a big difference in the teachers' lives to have some basic office equipment and supplies. The next slide, please. I don't know if you can see it from the back of the room, but you see the windows behind the children? They're very common all across the school. The doors are shut for inclement weather, but the screens are not in this picture.
Now, the screens are not like American screens, and they're very necessary because in the monsoon season, mosquitoes come and malaria is an issue. So what is needed every few years are these screens that they kind of pop in the windows during this rainy season that are kind of mandatory. And with the new construction of the buildings, many, many, many more windows. They don't use glass. They use these blinds that you see just for storms. And the rest of the year, it's just wide open.
So in the winter months, when there's not as big a mosquito or bug problem, they'll take the windows down to let the breeze in and get fresh air. But they desperately will be needing new screens for all of these new buildings that are going up. And by the way, is another place that we've seen firsthand your dollars making differences. When we were there just in December, the buildings that they just showed on the movie weren't completed yet. So it's exciting for us to see that difference in just a few months. The next slide, please.
There is, all over India, an abundant supply of dogs, and they are starving to death. And this was an issue on the campus as well. The dogs are coming in and out of season, and they're disrupting the children because they're running into the building, making a lot of noise. Of course, there are lots of puppies. The children are getting totally attached to the puppies. More puppies means more food, and the situation goes on and on and on. So we are going to encourage anyone with veterinary experience, please help with spay and neutering there. It is absolutely problematic, and while they treat all the dogs humanely, and they even give the children's leftover food to the dogs, we need to help them out here.
Our last speaker, Dr. Ronnie, is this your husband, a veterinarian? they welcome volunteers. Our vice principal, BJ Lakshmi, is saying, come, we want to show people the children. We want to show how the money is being spent. We can use the help. Come, if we have veterinarians out here.
I volunteer my husband's services.
Beautiful! Yay!
Some other areas where you can volunteer. If you are a carpenter and you can take off a few weeks, come help make furniture. If you're
beds.
An art teacher or a music teacher, these kids are amazing. They learn, because they're learning meditation and yoga asanas, and there's so much science behind that increasing their attention spans, their concentration levels, their memory capacity. And the principal was saying a unique thing that is happening on their campus is they just notice the kids are learning unusually quickly because they all live together. They don't go home for 12 hours. It doesn't get watered down. They're practicing in their rooms continually together. They're rehearsing. They're talking about their lessons. And because of that, it's a much more densely, enriched environment where they are learning. So they're coming from the poorest of the poor. I don't know if many of you know, but Orissa actually has sub-Saharan poverty levels. The World Health Organization is saying that hunger is actually growing in this area. Not only was it wiped out by one of history's worst cyclones, they went into drought and famine and flooding, and they have not recovered.
The super cyclone that hit Orissa in this area was bigger than Katrina, and it was after that that the famines came, and after that that the floods came, and a couple of years later another flood. Imagine if those kinds of disasters happened in New Orleans.
It's not a random coincidence that the school is there. There are tens of thousands of orphans. And these kids are going to leave this school with ability and skills to go back into their communities and transform them. They have the motivation to do so. They will uplift generations out of poverty. It's not just one child at a time or 280 that are now there, but all of the lives of their loved ones they will affect as well when they get out of the school. So we are encouraging everybody, help them because they're lifting up their own society at a grassroots level.
If I were sitting in the chair where you are right now, and I were getting ready to think about giving money to a charity, I would want to make sure about 3 things about that. I'd want to make sure that they were doing the work and making a difference in people's lives. Healing the sick, sheltering the homeless, feeding the hungry, which we can say without a shadow of a doubt, we have seen them doing this. I'd also want to know that that charity is efficient with the money that I'm sending. And I will tell you that we have seen them recording how the money is spent to the rupee.
Nothing is wasted, nothing.
And I'd also want to know that these people are honest. And we have time and time again seen that. And it's touching. It's very touching. So I would encourage you to join us in volunteering, in telling other people about this, in writing checks. One of the things we didn't mention, well, there was so much that we saw there that they could use. When we got there was one working washing machine to do the clothes for all 240 at the time children.
So we donated a few, and washing machines are much less expensive in India. So that's an easy way to help them because they need a fleet of washing machines.
They need more than they have now still. They also don't have a whole lot of sporting equipment. There are, well, 3 bicycles?
To be clear, the toy library is actually for the little ones, nursery school and kindergarten. So the older children actually do not have games or sports equipment. They have a few badminton rackets, a very beat up net, and 3 bicycles that are adult size, which is why they're breaking their bones. So what we are asking is, please, they need soccer balls and rackets of all kinds. They actually need coaches and anyone that wants to go there and help organize them into teams and sports. They love playing games. There's just no landscaping, and they're in the middle of construction, so it looks like a big dirt pit. We brought some balls because Rosella and I are headed back to India by God's grace in July, and we are going to be bringing 4 balls back to the kids in addition to what we hope is major funding. And so we would like to ask everyone to come up here and sign them with a little message, you know, study hard, we love you, we believe in you, things like that. So when they're on the playground, they have proof that there are people on the other side of the ocean that care about them.
Thank you very much.
We all thank you. Time for the best thing that has to happen. Nice food served. And I think you have a buffet, right, Puneet?
Yeah, we're going to announce it from the back.
Okay. And you will tell them which table goes first?
Yeah.
Number 1, first me. Okay. Now, Puneet, all of you will be called by the dinner. Please enjoy the dinner. We have a lot of music. Enjoy. And please enjoy. That's all I can tell you. Priya restaurant food, vegetarian. If any one of you get heartburn, I'm a gastroenterologist. I'll take care of it. As you are all, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that tables 20 to 24 or 20 to 25 can start going for dinner.
And come on, tell how many checks did you get?
I would like to thank